What do we have here? Nothing yet. I'm right in the middle of doing some other stuff. I just knocked it all out of the way here. And because this Twosun just came in, and I've been waiting for this one for a while. I wanted it for, I don't know, a couple years. It's one of the older models, I think. I'm trying to remember what the heck number it is. Looks like it's coming in the usual juicy packaging of greasy plastic. They double wrap these suckers because look at that. They double wrap these suckers because they're full of grease, and the grease will leak out and get all over the box. It's done that multiple times, and so now they do it this way. Oof, that is a greasy guy, but
Cosmoline, what even is this stinky but somehow magically protective greasy gunk? Dateline, Wart Hill, Nebraska. Geologists were busy searching for black gold when they discovered this disgusting mess. Originally assumed to be pure dinosaur excrement, these oil hunters did the only thing that made sense. Just put this disgusting gunk in the nearby river. Then there was a breakthrough. Elmer J. Flarthinglington III discovered a new use for this stinky Jurassic dino dung juice. Turns out you can just smear it on things and they work better, like this pulley machine contraption. Or Billy's bicycle. It's been squealing like a Democrat lately. Slather some Cosmoline up in that bitch, Billy. That's better. Even Sally's sewing machine could use a little Cosmoline. Ah, that's better. Now back to work. But the biggest beneficiary of Cosmoline seems to be mid-range pocket knives from China. These budget wonder knives benefit immensely from a good dipping into Cosmoline. It protects them from corrosion on their long boat ride across the Atlanto-Pacific Ocean to arrive in the US of A and be enjoyed by people of all ethnicities according to whichever knives they're known to use. And that's why we love Cosmoline.
that looks, that is so nice, man. It's a little smaller than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be, that's what she said. I thought it was going to be a little more of a full-size knife, but man, it actually has a very nice, solid feel to it. This is, wow, look at the billboarding inside that little, I don't know, fuller hole, I guess you call it. It is called the Sidewinder, Twosun Knives Sidewinder, TS341. So yeah, this is definitely on the older side. They're up into like 600s now or something. I don't know, man. I don't think they make a knife for every number, but there's definitely a lot of Twosuns. They come out with, you know, dozens every year. I don't know, at least 10 or 20 every year. Woo! Holy crap! Dang, front flipper too. I didn't even. Oh, maybe it's a top flipper. This is not top flipping for me very well. Okay. The detent is very strong. This thing is snappy as hell. Boy, that is super snappy. So, like, my initial thought on it, just popping it a couple of times, is it could be a little weaker on the detent, and then maybe I could front flip it. Okay, I can still front flip it. But they don't have any jimping right here. They should have jimping here as well as up there, because I cannot do it there. I don't know if it's doable. Let's see. If I hold it both ends. Nope, I don't think it's doable. But this way, you get your thumb right up at the top there. Yeah, that's nice. Kind of a leaf-shaped blade. Fairly high grind, high flat grind on it. Very greasy blade, too. Let's get that cleaned up a little bit and try not to cut myself. Man, I really like it. I dig it. The balance is pretty good. It might be a bit ass-heavy because it has a full back spacer. And, well, they do cut it out, though. Look at that. If you can see inside there, they did some cutting out inside of these scales, which is really nice. And they got some nice speed holes here, vent holes, exhaust holes, whatever you want to call it. Wow. Great sound. Great reverse flick. The thumb opening, not as much, because I can feel my fingers are pressing on the lock bar right there when I try to open it. And so as I'm trying to open it, I'm pressing on the lock bar, and that's making it hard to open. It's doable though, so no big deal, especially if you can get your fingers off the lock bar, I think. Ooh, or maybe just go down a little further. Yeah, if you go down a little further down the blade where this little upsweep is, you get a little more leverage Boy, I can't really slow roll it very well then. Interesting. How's the lockup? Let's check that. Yep. Boy, I'm having a hard time front flipping it now. There we go. How's the lockup? Ooh, look at that. That's beautiful at about 25%, maybe, something like that. Centering. Oh my, look at that. Beautiful centering, and they have this little cutout in the backspacer that shows you how perfectly centered it is. That's really done well. Who's the designer on this? I think that is, and I can't remember his name. I'll put it up here. Lock access is really good. They have some nice cutouts there for the lock access. Really, really nicely done. Yeah, that's great. It feels like a pillow for your finger or your thumb to go on. I don't know why they didn't do some jimping right here. This would be a great front flipper if it had jimping. Right now, it's just kind of a meh front flipper because it doesn't have that jimping right there. So you have to kind of, man, you have to kind of get just in the right place, and it actually hurts my thumb to do it. So I probably won't do it very much. This basically for me is a one-trick pony of reverse flick at the moment. Now the reverse flick is excellent though. You can feel this blasted finish inside of this fuller cutout. It feels almost like sandpaper on my fingernail, like I could file my fingernails on it. Wow, what a great looking knife. What a great feeling knife. What great action. Just everything really nicely done on it, except the opening methods don't seem to be quite what they're supposed to be. Oh, not super sharp maybe, huh? Interesting. It actually doesn't feel dull, but now this paper is a little damp. I'm in my garage, and look at that. It just rips really easy. This is kind of a little bit unfair. It isn't dull, but it isn't super sharp either. This isn't like cutting toilet paper, but it's not like cutting regular paper. Let's see if I can find something a little more sturdy that isn't degraded. All right, here's a piece of actual notebook paper. Let's see if it does any better on that. It could use a strop for sure. Yeah, so usually Twosun knives are pretty sharp. It's kind of a little surprising. Let's see, we got a finger choil here, and we got a larger finger choil here, and that does work pretty well. You can choke up on this guy. What is the dimensions on this guy? I feel like I'm going to say it's 3.4 inches. Come on, 3.4. 3.25. 3.25 inch. So not quite 3.4, a little smaller than I thought, but I don't know, it feels pretty good. I'm kind of a bigger knife guy. If it's not 3.5 inches, it's a little small for me. If it's under 3.5, I'm kind of like, it's got to be real good. This one is real good. Wow, listen to that sound. The closing sound is really, really nice. The opening is good. Yeah, I'm not getting the thumb opening easy. I feel like if I did a little bend out. Holy shit, how did I not even notice that? Look at that. Okay, that's so cool. So, I didn't mention it before, but it has these little inlays up on the bolster, I guess you'd call it. And this one is actually, it looks like it's the stop for the lock bar. So the lock bar will run into this little bolster inlay, and that looks like that's what's stopping it from going, from over traveling. So that's your over travel stop. So I'll have to take that off and bend out that lock bar just a little bit, and then it'll be a little more drop shutty and a little easier to open. It'll be a little more front flippable, maybe even a little more thumb openingable. I think it'll be an improvement all around. A lot of people will say, you can just adjust the lock bar if you want it to be more drop shutty. Well, that's great, unless you have an already kind of light detent for opening. And then if you weaken the lock bar by bending it out a little bit, you might have a knife that will shake open really easy. Like, I think this CJRB will probably, yeah. This guy is a button lock, and it doesn't have a very strong detent, so I can shake it open pretty easy. The detent's too light, okay? It just is. This guy, no, you can shake that until your fucking hand falls off and it ain't going nowhere. So it could be a little lighter on the detent, and I think that would probably improve almost everything about it. But, yeah, really, really good. Night morning. I think it's a night morning design. Does it say on there? No, I don't think it does. So this is a TS341 Sidewinder. And man, if you can get one, let's try the pocket clip. If you can get one, I would get one. Oh, the pocket clip is great. That's really nice, man. Really, really nice. Holy crap. I'm pretty impressed with this one, dude. And it's an older one. It's not one of their newer ones. I just love that leaf-shaped kind of spear point blade. Man, so nice. I think with that little bit of lock bar adjustment, it's going to be terrific. Look at these lines, how this line follows through. This line coming down through here follows into here and comes back up. I love aesthetics like that where things tie in together. This line ties down into here, I guess. You know, just, wow. Micro milling on the titanium. And that's what this is, a titanium frame lock. But I think you might call it a bolster lock or something because the lock is actually hidden behind the bolster a little bit. Yeah, I'm not sure. But I'm calling it a frame lock. Great big fuller all cut out there. Just wish I could get my thumb into it a little better. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if maybe a little lock bar adjustment would do the trick on this. Oh, pretty impressed with the 341. Wow. Good job, Twosun. I guess they still make them because they're coming up for sale on eBay sometimes. Maybe I bought this one. Maybe I bought this. No, I think I bought it brand new from the usual eBay place. So I think they're out there still making them. It's pretty awesome. Or it's new old stock. I'm not sure which. Twosun 341 Sidewinder. Badass knife, man. Loving it. Look at that thing. Look at that beauty. So, if you know me at all, you know I can't leave shit alone. So, look at that. Thumb stud. Put a thumb stud in it. I mean, I had to. Sorry about the noise. That's the lightsaber. I don't know how to turn it off. But, and then I also took the lock bar and made a little outward adjustment on it. And man, it is a lot nicer. So smooth, man. This thing is smooth. Kind of reminds me of a Microtech Annex, I think is what it's called, if I remember right. Kind of has that vibe, although it doesn't look like a copy at all to me. I don't know. M390 blade steel. I don't know if you heard that. M390 blade steel. The sword turned off. Interesting. When I took it apart, I looked at the insides. Man, this thing is just so well made. It's got a pin here in the front, a pin here, and then just the one screw, one body screw, and then the single pivot screw, and you get this thing apart. Now, even with the lightened detent strength now, I still can't. Oh, wait, I just did it. Shit. Okay, wow, I couldn't do this, I don't know, an hour ago? Okay, it still isn't easy. It's still hard to top flip this thing. Definitely can't do it this way. Nope, not at all. But front flip, definitely easier now, even though there's no jimping. I'd like to put some jimping on there, but man, I never do it right. It always comes out imperfect and not, you know, look at that. A bunch of skin in there rubbed off from my thumb trying to get it to work. That's pretty funny. Gross. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so you can kind of top flip it, but the front flip is way better. I'm not sure why they didn't figure that out. I don't know. It's like, I think sometimes these guys design knives night morning. Oh, no, this isn't even night morning, is it? No, this is, I thought it was night morning. It's not. It is, maybe it is night morning? I don't know. I'll put it up here. Sometimes these guys, I think they design these knives on paper or in the computer and don't actually build a prototype maybe. Because if you built a prototype, you would know that this is not a good angle. It needs to be a little more like this maybe, something like that. A little more pointy up there, or this end down. I don't know, something. But we definitely should have taken this jimping all the way around the corner, here to here, even if you want to keep it here. With the thumb studs, you can thumb it open now real easy. Very nice. I put these guys on, and then they were a little bit too slick, so I took them back off and ran them on some real rough sandpaper and a drill. So you can see that they're really roughed up. Then I polished them just a little bit so they weren't scratchy like rough, but just enough to catch your thumb. And this thing opens so snappy now. It's a great knife, man. It's literally one of the great ones. The Twosun 341, TS341, by this designer here. Reverse flick for days. The thumb opening not so great. Questionable front flipper, but the reverse flick is enough to make it awesome. With the thumb stud though, Terrific. And it looks pretty good too, I think. I don't know. Oh. TS341. Have a nice day.